Yo, what's going on everyone? Miles Midoriya here with a review and recap of my adventures with Superman episode 1. In the beginning, we see a younger Clark Kent outside his home. He's trying to get his kite out of the tree until we see a car moving fast about to hit a pothole. He tried to warn them, but it didn't work. They almost crash into a tree, but luckily Clark activates his powers. We see his eyes glowing like this electricity, and he was able to stop the car. At first, I thought the lady in the car was going to check her rearview mirror because he just popped up out of nowhere, but nah, she just drove off. Once that was over with, he went to go try to get his kite out of the tree again, and he succeeded. He started flying. He did question though, how did he do that, and who is he? For that first part, I like how they had him activate his powers to help somebody out, and the small detail of them adding the S on his shirt in his early life. Also, I like how they had the eyes glowing in like just the electricity showing him activate his powers. But y'all let me know in the comment section. I haven't seen everything related to Superman, but has that happened before? If not, that's pretty cool. Next scene, it shows the present, older Clark Kent and Lois Lane getting ready for the day. Lois is excited to tell her boss about a story she's been working on, while Clark on the other hand is focused on trying to be normal. And that is not going smoothly. He tore up his shoe and broke the faucet out the bathroom sink, and we know he's going to use his powers at some point in the episode. He just needs to calm down a little and not overthink things. While on the way to work, he stops by the store and runs into Lois Lane. From the start, you could tell Clark likes her. He tried to talk to her in the store, but the lady that works at the store interrupted him, and she told him that the 3 dozen donuts that he ordered is ready. Man, I get his appetite's built different, but to someone else hearing that, that's a lot to eat. It didn't stop there. She proceeded to embarrass him a little, not on purpose though. She was putting a bib around him because when he eats the donuts, sprinkles get everywhere. At that point, he told the lady thank you, and he knew it was time to get out of there. He spoke to Lois on his way out, and he was in such a rush he broke the glass on the front door. It's funny because the lady mentioned that he helped do repairs on the back door, so now he gotta fix the front door as well. Clark meets up with Jimmy. They're on their way to work. Jimmy's excited to get to the Daily Planet, so excited that he didn't even pay attention to the garbage truck that was about to hit him, but Clark managed to get him out the way. But while the truck went by, it zoomed in on the lady driving, but we'll get to that in a minute. At the Daily Planet, Lois pops up telling her boss about the story that she has involving the stolen robots. I'm talking about she was excited and confidently talking about it just for her boss to tell her he didn't call her in there for that. He had called her in there to introduce her to the new interns. Before he finished talking, Lois said they could help her with the story. They started coming up with ideas and Perry wasn't going for it. Just then, he told Clark and Jimmy to wait outside. He let Lois know that she doesn't report the news and that her job is to teach the new interns how to scan things and make coffee. She was trying to explain more, but he wasn't having it, and he told her it's her last chance. I felt kind of sorry for Lois because she has a story that she put effort into, but she's limited to being an intern and she can't do as much. When she left his office, Clark was worried and he said he would apologize to Perry, but instead of her doing what he said, she told him that he said it was okay for them to work on the story. So you already know what that means. They about to get into trouble, and that is Clark and Jimmy's first day on the job. Jimmy did notice that Clark likes Lois, and Clark tried to play it off, but nah, he could tell. That's one of the things that I like about that character. Jimmy's like the comedic character in the show, and it doesn't seem like he did too much in the first episode. Moving along, we see the lady that Clark noticed driving a garbage truck on the street. Her name is Leslie. She's telling this guy named Badger that there isn't anyone in the city that would buy the robots, so they gotta think of something else to do. Just then, one of the robots busted through the container. Of course, it was one of the henchmen that they hired. I was like, what type of people did she hire? They messing up the stuff they took. At that point, she tells them that things have changed and that there's a new plan. Back to the main group, Lois introduces Clark and Jimmy to Flip and her friends. They are kids who deliver papers for the Daily Planet, and they tend to notice stuff on their routes. Flip let her know that the information wasn't going to be for free, so she told Lois that she wants her to talk to Perry about them being able to hand out the paper that they made with his papers and to help her with her next English essays. Lois agreed, then Flip read off everything that they noticed. One thing that caught Clark's attention was when she said Gabby saw a bunch of trucks running a red light. He asked her if they were garbage trucks. Flip told him it was, so him and Lois pieced what happened together. She asked Flip where did they see the trucks and where did they disappear. She showed them on the map, so Clark, Lois, and Jimmy are going to go to that location. Once they got there, Clark let Lois know that it could be dangerous for all of them, and he asked if Perry was okay with them working on that story. As soon as he said that, he had texted her. I couldn't help but laugh at that part. He told her to get back to the Daily Planet, and of course, she ignored it. Like, these dudes is new on the job. She about to get them in trouble or fired. They're trying to get into the building. Clark boosts Lois up to the window. She fell, he caught her, and they had like a little moment. We're probably gonna see more of these throughout the season, but that moment didn't last long. Jimmy had interrupted. He let them know that the door was open. They saw no one was inside. They ended up finding a patch with some initials on it. While Jimmy and Lois are trying to figure out what it stands for, Clark got a call from Perry. He told them all three of them need to get back to the Daily Planet. When they showed his glasses where you couldn't see his eyes, I knew he was about to get serious. Like, that was some type of anime moment. Lois figured out what the initials mean, Porto Metropolis, so they must be at the docks. She was ready to leave, but Clark told her Perry called and he knows she wasn't telling the truth. She said people of Metropolis have to know what's going on. Clark wasn't going. He told her that he trusted her and she used him and Jimmy to get to her story. She said she didn't need his help and she dragged Jimmy out of there. I was thinking, how's she just gonna drag him out of there? Does he not get a say in all that? How does she know he still wanted to go? Jimmy and Lois are on their way to the docks. Flip sees them, which means she's probably gonna follow them. Lois is ranting about what happened and she realizes that she's been a little selfish. Jimmy interrupted her talking to show her the robots being moved at the docks. They went over there and Leslie notices both of them. I guess they were in the moment, but they were out in the open, especially Jimmy. Bruh, you could have hid by another container. Leslie tells someone to handle them, and once again, who did she hire? They activated one of the robots and she even questioned why did they do that. Flip saw the robot and immediately went to go tell Clark. He flew over there and met up with them. He actually pushed Jimmy out of the way of the robot and he got pushed into some boxes. He quickly took one of the uniforms and got into a fight with the robot. Bruh, at first Superman was getting the beats. He was getting punched in the face, but he managed to win. Leslie decided to activate the rest of the robots. This man, Superman, had a tough time fighting one of them. Now he got to fight the rest of them. Lois did notice that the containers were unattended since Leslie left. I don't know why she did that. She went to deactivate the robots, and once the rest of them noticed, they started shooting lasers at her. Since Superman had passed out for a minute, they managed to knock down the last two containers. Lois managed to deactivate one of the containers and was going to the other one, but the last robot, when he seen the other one go down, it smartened up and destroyed the last container. Luckily, Superman woke up and stopped the last robot. We saw his power again from when he was younger with the electricity and his eyes glowing, and also with the S on his chest glowing. Also, it looks like they showed the area where Superman's childhood home was at, where the S is in the ground glowing as well. After all of that, Lois was looking for Clark. He popped back up. Everyone was glad he was okay, but they still had to go back to the Daily Planet. Lois was checking to see if Jimmy took any photos. He did. She was excited to tell Perry about everything, and Clark was in the background looking nervous. All he wanted to do was have a normal day. Over at the Daily Planet, Perry was not happy with the photos that Jimmy had took during the fight. They didn't come out well, they were blurry. And he was upset that Lois brought the new interns into it. Clark did speak up and said that she was right about the robots and they stand by the story that they broke. Perry was tired of it all. He told them that he will figure out what to do with them the next day, which means they didn't get fired. Jimmy did ask if he was going to run their story, and Perry said once they get a photo of Superman, and you could tell he wasn't buying the story part about someone flying. Once they had left his office, Lois was excited. She wants to get a picture of Superman, and Clark is looking stressed out, and that's where the episode ends. I gotta say, good first episode. I like the comedy here and there, the characters' personalities, and the future things that's possibly to come in the upcoming episodes. But y'all let me know in the comment section down below, what did you think about the new Superman series? Thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.